Hey everyone, this is Callie with Callie's Trucking Adventures. I hope everyone is doing absolutely wonderful tonight. I just wanted to do a quick check-in, or I don't know how quick it'll be, you know me, but anyway, I just want to do a check-in with you guys and let you know where I am as opposed to a couple of days ago when I last checked in with you guys. So I did successfully complete my first load, and I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to complete that load because of the time restriction. I was really worried I was going to end up with a service failure on that one, and it was a lot of stress. I accepted the load on Wednesday morning at about 9 a.m. in Salt Lake City, and it was supposed to be delivered in Missouri on Friday morning at 9 a.m. And so I was already losing an hour, and that by the time I was able to get out of the yard and everything and get on the road, it was actually already, I'd already lost a couple more hours. And then in my previous video, I told you guys I had a hard time coming out of Parley's Canyon and up all those hills, and I was sometimes going like 35 and 45, and just getting the first time of ever really driving the truck. And I had driven it, but not driven it with a load, and I definitely hadn't driven it under those circumstances, so I was still trying to get to No Star. And then on top of that, I got stuck in construction traffic, and that was probably like a half hour, and I got pulled into the weigh station. So when all is said and done, I didn't make as good of progress as I would have liked to have made that first day. And so I did drive for, gosh, my clock though, well, pretty much about 10 hours. And then I stopped and I slept and made a video for you guys. And then I got back on the road the next morning, and I could have got back on the road at 9:22, and I was actually on the road by about 9:36. And that whole entire day, I just knew, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know how I can do this. When our trucks are only going to go a maximum of 65 miles an hour, you know that you can only go so far. So anyway, I was kind of stressed out the whole day and thinking, oh my gosh, I just don't know. And I actually pushed it the whole way, 65, kept my foot to the floor. And finally at about, I'd say it was about a couple hours out and from getting to where I was going to run out of my clock. And I was just like, I just know this is not going to work. And I was trying to figure out, okay, well, how can I save my clock some so that I can get up in the morning and I can take off and make up the miles that I wasn't going to be able to make up. And then on top of that, I didn't have a place to sleep, I didn't have a place to park, and I was outside of let's see, gosh, where the heck was I outside of? Not St. Louis, but Kansas City. And so I was outside of Kansas City, and I was thinking to myself, I know about the splits. I know you can do there's a 7-3 split, and there's an 8-2 split. So pretty sure that you can do those things. And so I ended up, calling for help and asking my mentor, my friend, and my trainer, what can I do? How am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is not going to work. And I had already kind of expressed to him in that morning that I was really concerned. I wasn't sure how this was going to work and how I was going to be able to get these miles out, when there just wasn't enough time allotted. And so he told me, get yourself parked. When you're parked, then call me back. So I stopped and I parked, and I was able to get a place, thank God. And then I called him back, and we discussed it, and I said, I really feel like I'm gonna have to do this split. There's no other way I can possibly do this. And I was like, so can I do the 8-2 split? And he was like, yes you can, but you're gonna lose your book, you're gonna mess up your book. And I was like, yeah, but it's more important to me that I get this load dropped than that I mess up my book. If I mess up my book, I mess up my book. There's nothing I can really do about that. I have to get this load dropped on time, and I don't want my first load to be a service failure. And so he was like, okay, well, yep, then that's what you're going to do. And so he showed me how to do that. And then I kind of was laying there, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm still not going to have enough time. There's no possible way, because I still had 193 miles to go to my drop. And at that point, and it was, like I said, to do at 9 o'clock. And at that point, I wasn't going to be able to get on the road until 6. And there was just no way that I was going to be able to do 193 miles in 3 hours. So I ended up looking into some more videos and stuff, and watched Kiersey and watched a video by Lyle, and looking into that 7-3 split. And so I sent him a message. I said, well, can I do a 7-3 split? And he was like, yes ma'am. And I said, okay, I'm doing a 7-3 then, and then that way I can get out of here an hour earlier and I should be in good shape. So I ended up hardly really getting any sleep that night, just because it's hard for me to shut myself down anyway. And then with kind of just being stressed about the whole thing a little bit, I jumped up when my alarm went off at 4 o'clock, and as soon as I could get on the road, I did my PTI, and as soon as I was on the road, I was able to get on the road, I jumped on the road and I took off. And it ended up that I had to stop and get gas, because my fuel tank, as soon as it hit the red, I swear it just started sucking down on me. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I had to stop and I had to get fuel. And I got to the 90, and I was actually about 20 minutes early. And I was able to back in. It took me a minute, but I got backed in and everything. And so that was a success, and I was really proud of myself. But I ended up where my clock was really screwed up, and so I ended up going back to the rest stop where I had fueled, because I tried to go east, and where my GPS was taking me, the road ended up being closed, and I just did not want to fool with it. Plus I was really tired, and I didn't want to make a mistake out there. And so I said, you know what, I already know where this rest stop is, I'm just going to go back there. So I ended up going all the way back, probably 50 miles backtracking, and I got to that rest stop, and I made myself back into the spot instead of pulling in a pull-through, which there were pull-throughs available. And I ended up telling my fleet manager that I thought, I called the logs department and discussed what had happened with her. And but she, told me, yeah, you probably should maybe just do a 10, do your whole 10, because I was going to try to get back. I was going to do my 7-3 split and take a 3 or 4 hour break and then get back on it. And then I was exhausted, and she was like, maybe you should just, unless you want to drive, maybe. And I said, you're right, I think I should. You're right, I should just do the 10 and then get back on it. So I messaged my fleet manager and told him, okay, I ended up having to do a 7-3 split to get that load dropped on time. And so I just got off the phone with the logs department. I think I'm going to go on ahead and just do because I originally told them I set my PTI for 4 o'clock, and by then it was already like 12 o'clock. And so I said, I think I'm just going to do, better play it safe. I'm just going to do a 10-hour, my full 10-hour break, and then I'll be ready to go. So he sent me a load, and it was actually a really good load. It was an easy load. Well, I don't know, I haven't dropped it yet, so we'll see how that goes. But he did send me a load, a pre-plan kind of, to go pick up the next morning. I had to be there at, the 01, and it was about 83 miles away from me, and I had to be there by 7 o'clock. And so, that gave me plenty of time to, get some rest, and then get up and get ready to, get there. So I had tried to do some pre-planning and tried to figure out a shower, or not a shower, but I needed to get my truck washed out. I needed to do a trailer wash, and I was looking and trying to figure that out. And I thought, gosh, I can't find anything close to me. And at first I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sweep the darn thing out. And then I bought a broom and stuff the next morning, got up, jumped in the shower at 3, bought a broom, came back out to the truck, and I looked at it and I was like, no, I can't do that. I got to do a wash. That's the way that Willie trained me, and I'm going to follow that protocol, because I think that is, everyone does it differently, and that's fine. But for me, I really want to try to make sure that, I am, I'm doing things a way that it would probably be preferred. So the next morning, so then I started looking again. I was like, I have to do one. There's no getting around it. And so I looked again, and it turned out that there was actually a blue beacon that was just like 4 miles away from my 01. And so I got myself down there, got the truck washed out, and I got to the 01, and the gal said, "Oh, I'm sure glad you stopped and washed this out, because I've had to turn away 3 people today already that didn't do truck washes." So I was really grateful that I ended up, you know, going with my gut and my instincts and not just trying to take the easy way out. You know, not that that would have been the easy way out, because it actually would have been harder, and it probably would have been taken me more time than the 20 minutes that, or 25 minutes that I sat in line waiting for that truck wash. And I went to a Hershey. It was a really easy pickup. I was able to drop my trailer. They tell you right where to put it. That was easy. I found the trailer that I needed to pick up. Did my inspection, all that good stuff. Struggled with the tandems a little bit, trying to get them in place, but actually they were in the right spot. And then I got on the road and I drove. I don't even know, I didn't look at how far I did drive yesterday, but my total for my trip was going to be 906 miles, and I did I drove to the point where I was down to about 483 miles left, and then I went on ahead and crashed out. And then I got up this morning and I jumped back in the driver's seat and I drove, and I made it to about 5 miles away from my 90 tomorrow. And my 90, I don't even have to deliver until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll probably try to definitely get there by about 2 o'clock. And I got myself a place and I just got a shower. I'm feeling like a regular human being again for a little while anyways. And I don't know how, of course, that 90 is going to go. Hopefully it's fairly easy. I'm still not, you know, I'm making myself back when I can have the opportunity, and I'm not going to hit something, and I'm trying to force myself to practice and stuff. And I know, you know, I'm just going to, the more practice, the better we get. So I'm overall feeling very accomplished by all of this. I'm feeling, you know, like I'm getting it and I'm doing well. I'm adapting. I'm overcoming. I didn't cry on that first load. I so was ready to cry. I just felt so frustrated, and I just felt like I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't know how to make this work. And how do you pull 2.5 drive shifts out of 47 or 46 hours? How do you do that? And luckily I figured out how to do it. And you know, like I said, I'm grateful to those of you that have shared your videos about the splits, because I knew about them, and you know, they saved me, and they really saved me. So what I did find out is that you definitely have to be in the sleeper a minimum of 7 hours, and before you can take off, and then you know, then you have to make up those other hours. So if you do the 7-3, you've got to, at some point before, you know, within your I think it's probably within your 8 hours, you have to take another 3-hour break. And then that kind of resets. It doesn't reset, you lose the hours that you drove, but it does give you your full drive time back. Well, that's not true. It just counts for your 10-hour break is what it actually does. And if you're going to do the 8-2, then of course you're going to either go, you know, some people take the 2 and then they take the 8 later or whatever. I'm sure you can reverse it all around or whatever, but that's definitely a way to save your bacon or save yourself from having a service failure. So I just wanted to actually share that with you guys too, because, you know, we're all pushed against the clock sometimes, and you know, this load here has been pretty leisurely. I was even able to try to go, you know, 60 and try to cut down, see if I can save some fuel and stuff like that this time. On that first load it was 65. It was my foot was to the floor as much as I could possibly keep it there. So it was nice to not be so stressed out this time on this load. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm excited to see what I'm going to get tomorrow. I'm probably going to be getting routed back to Springfield. I was asked if I wanted to keep this trailer or if I wanted to drop it in Springfield, because my fleet manager realized that I actually was supposed to go to Springfield. And I said, you know, to be honest with you, I really need to run as hard as I can, and I really want to make up some money, and I know that the first load just covered my truck payment, so I would like it if maybe I could just go on ahead and take this load all the way to Lubbock, and then, because I'm in Texas, Lubbock, and then I would be able to just, hopefully maybe you can get me something out of there and you can route me back to Springfield, and then I can get everything done that I needed to do. Plus it doesn't even make sense to stop in Springfield right now, because the truck office is closed, and so the classes that I was going to take, they're not available right now, so it doesn't even really make sense for me to go there right now. It's kind of a waste of my time. And so he agreed, and so he's going to get me something out of here to route me back to Springfield. So Like I said, all in all, things are really good. I'm really loving Star. She's doing a great job for me out here. She's got great headlights, and I'm so happy about that. So I don't mind driving in the dark. Actually, it's kind of nice to drive at night because there's not as many vehicles on the road. But I don't like it when I can't see very well, and I do definitely slow down usually a bit because I can't see very well, and I don't want to hit any little varmints or any creatures or anything like that, and I don't want to wreck. so anyways, but I think that's about all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to go on ahead and try to see if I can find myself something to eat. I know I have food on the truck, but I'm kind of feeling like it'd be nice to maybe get some authentic Hispanic or Mexican food here while I'm in Texas, because I hear they make really good Mexican food here. So I really wouldn't mind getting myself a vegetarian burrito or something like that. I think that would be amazing. So I'm gonna see if I can find something like that, and then I am going to chill out and get some rest, because I haven't really slept too terribly good since I left the terminal. Well, that's not true. The first night I did sleep pretty good, and I've been sleeping pretty good on Star. So I'm gonna need to get some earplugs. There's been some times when it's been a little, the noises have definitely, sorry guys, my camera cut out on me again. I still haven't had an opportunity to mess around with that new camera very much, and I need to get that done. I still have so much, they're wanting me to pay for data is what they want, and so I may break down and have to do it. But anyway, I do not know what I was saying for sure, but I think I was saying that I was kind of having a little bit, I know what I was saying. I was talking about the Peterbilt, and how there's you definitely hear a whole lot more in this freight liner than you do in the Peterbilt, that's for sure. So I think that they're more soundproof or whatever the Peterbilts are. But anyway, all right guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for following, and thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate you all so very much, and I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of, other journeys and sharing more stuff with you guys. Have a wonderful night. Do something good for yourself, something to make your heart happy and your soul smile. And as always, spread love, kindness, compassion, consideration, peace, light, thoughts, and wishes of blessing for your brothers and sisters, inclusion, and all of those wonderful things, instead of, hate, anger, rage, prejudice, bigotry, all that stuff. There's other things, but right now it's not all coming to my brain. But anyway, thank you guys. All right, laters, peace out, have a great night, bye bye.